पिच करना पड़ता कैसे करना पड़ता है लाइट ऑफ पिच कराना sexy next slip off right.
वहाँ पे मैसेज कर रहे हैं लोग
Good evening to all the members who are there. Good evening, friends. Good evening to everyone. I take this opportunity to thank EdTalk team for providing me this platform to convey my feelings and thoughts. Special thanks to Nimisha and Animesh for enabling me to get onto this platform, to use this platform. We have all gone through this lockdown due to the coronavirus, and hats off to all the teachers of the country for taking on to the enormous task of guiding the children online. We have followed various applications. Few applications are being still tried out by the schools, and I'm sure in the days to come, all teachers, all schools will be becoming better and better in using online teaching methods. I'm reminded of the famous quote, कौन कहता है कि आसमां में सुराख नहीं हो सकता, एक पत्थर तबीयत से उछालो तो यारो. This quote is very apt for the task that teachers have done in guiding the children. And at the same time, when we look around, we find our administration, our police, our doctors, the leaders, they're all trying to do their best to help people suffering from this particular pandemic. As human beings, especially when we are in the field of teaching, I think we all need to think good for others. I'll quote a line or two from Japji Sahib Ji, written by Guru Nanak, in which Guru Nanak asks a question to the Lord. Fair ke agge rakhiye jit dase darbar. O Lord, what is it that I should return and keep it in front of you? Because all that is there around is yours. फेर के आगे रखिए, मैं कौन सी ऐसी चीज को घुमा के आपके सामने रखूं जिससे मुझे दरबार नजर आए. फेर के आगे रखिए जित दसे दरबार. And in the next line he gives its reply. He says, मुंह की बोली बोलिए जित सुने तरे प्यार. Bless me that I should use my tongue. He's just giving one example. I should use my tongue in such a way, I should speak in such a way that by listening to my good talk, as a parent, when we hear our little ones say something nice, we pick them up in our laps and we love them. The same thing Nanak says. He says, मुंह की बोली बोलिए जित सुने, जिसको सुन के तरे, अपने गोदी में धर ले, जित सुने तरे प्यार. And he loves us. So what is it that we should do that the Almighty, the great power, should like us? There's a very simple answers for this. That is, we need to do good to others. The topic that we are talking about is good habits to attain success. So this is one small thing that we should have in us to make the world better. I'm very fond of Stephen Covey. Those of you who have read him, he has written books like 7 Habits, Good Habits of Highly Successful People. I've been greatly influenced by him, wherein he talks about the good habits of people who were successful. What are those good habits? He advises in his book, the first good habit is that highly successful people are proactive. Second good habit is they can see the end before beginning. That is, they have forevision. Third good habit is they know their priorities. They do first thing first. And then they think win-win. They try to understand others than trying to be understood. They have the synergizing effect. And they also sharpen their tools. When we look into these good habits in detail, we can talk for days together and it won't end. So here, I'll try to be very brief. What does it mean to be proactive? Who is the proactive person? Proactive person is the one who is ready to take the responsibility. He's a responsible person. It's opposite of reactive. He thinks before he leaps. A proactive person doesn't shy away from learning. He's not a shy learner. I always tell my students, a good learner is never shy. If you don't know something, you should ask your teachers. Don't let the doubt remain in your mind. Don't think what others will think about you that you were not able to understand when the teacher was explaining. Ask him, because it is for your benefit. I also see when, like, suppose I will give you an example where when a teacher walks into the classroom and sees a beautiful chart over there in the class, prepared on science subject, and he says, "What a nice chart that is. Who made it?" And 2 to 3 boys or girls, they raise their hand and say, "Sir, we did it, we did it." And the sir appreciates it. When the class is progressing and the teacher walks towards the chart and sees it from a close distance, he finds few spelling errors in it. And then he points out and says, "Well, there are few spelling errors." And then student A immediately says, "Sir, it was B's responsible. It was his responsibility to check the spellings." So what happened? When teacher was appreciating, all wanted to take the credit. And when he criticized, the student A tried to blame the other. A proactive person doesn't do that. A proactive person rather stands up and says, "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. I'll rectify it and I'll be more careful next time." That is a proactive person. A proactive person always ensures that he uses his conscience. He uses his intelligence. Through his consciousness and intelligence, he tries to know the difference between good and bad. And he picks up the good for himself and also helps others to pick up good things for themselves. A good habit is also when a person can see the end before beginning. An architect plans out a building. He sees the building in his mind before he even starts making the sketch of it on his paper. A visionary person can imagine a school in a place, and then he brings up that school. So in order to be successful, you need to think ahead. You need to see where you will be a week later, a month later, a year later, 10 years later. For this, I suggest to my students that they should make plans for a day or two, that today I will do this and try to stick to that. May not be a very big thing, a small thing, like tomorrow I will be completing this task. And if he does it, it'll boost his self-esteem that yes, I was able to complete that task, and then he will go to the next. So planning is a must. You should see yourself in future, that what you will be doing, and then accordingly you should progress. When you think something in your mind, Khalil Gibran has so nicely said that when you long for something, the entire universe conspires to enable you to get that. This dialogue was made popular by Shah Rukh Khan in Om Shanti Om. So, be a good planner, be a visionary person. The third good quality is the successful people, they do first thing first. They know their priorities. For this, if you will analyze, I'll give you an example of your own. For the students, say you all appear in weekly tests or monthly tests. And when you get the schedule, let us talk about the weekly tests. In few schools, tests are conducted on Monday or on Tuesdays. So suppose we take the test day on Monday. Once you appear in that, the next test that is due, if you start preparing for it, when the task is not urgent but important, that is, it'll be your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Till Thursday, the task will remain under the category of not urgent but important. But as you move towards the weekend, the task will become urgent and also important. Always remember, when you do work, when the task is not urgent, the quality will be good. On the other hand, if you will not prepare for yourself for the tests on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you're pushing yourself. If you believe that, oh, come on, I'll be able to prepare myself on the weekend, the quality of your preparation will not be good. It's the same with any task that you take. Try to work upon it when it is not urgent, and you will automatically see that the task that you will do will be excellent. Successful people think good not only for themselves, but for others also. That is the fourth good quality. They think win-win. They also want themselves to be benefited from the situation, and they also want their partners to benefit, whether it is one-on-one, whether it is partnership with any firm. Both the partners need to win. Whether countries are talking to each other, both the countries have to benefit from each other. It cannot happen that only one country will benefit and the other one will be at a loss. So one has to be careful in that both the team work. That is, a successful person thinks win-win for everyone. Only then the things move in the right direction. A successful person needs to be emotionally strong. He needs to understand others. That is the fifth quality. A successful person tries to understand others than trying to be understood. Remember, in our life, we come across four categories of people. Who are those? They are, first category of people we come across are our parents and family members. Second category that we come across in our life are our friends. Third category that we come across in our lives are the colleagues with whom we work. And the fourth category belong to the community that we belong to. We come across, like, if you reflect on the people who you come across, you can more or less categorize them into these four categories. Believe me that as we have our bank accounts, we have emotional accounts also with each other among the people of all the four categories, whether they are our parents, family members, friends, colleagues, or people from our community. We all build emotional accounts with them. And as a bank account, our bank account increases when we deposit money into it. It reduces when we withdraw money. Similarly, here too, in our emotional account with each other, it increases and decreases. When does it increase? It increases when we build trust, when we do what we say. If you have given an appointment to your friend that you will be reaching the house by 5 in the evening, and you keep to your appointment and reach by 5, your emotional account gets added upon. But what we try to bluff, then our emotional account reduces. If mother has told you to complete some task and you do it, the emotional account enhances. So it is with any other relation. And you must have heard the story of the boy who shouted, "Sher aaya, sher aaya." Initially, the emotional account between him and the villagers was very strong, very good. So for the first time when he shouted, उसने कहा, yes, पूरा गांव दौड़ के आ गया उसको बचाने के लिए. लेकिन जब वो आया तो उसने मजाक बनाया, कहा तो यहाँ तो कोई शेर नहीं है, मैंने तो ऐसे ही मजाक किया था. फिर दोबारा हुआ, दोबारा कम लोग आए बचाने के लिए. फिर ऐसे करते करते कहानी का एंड क्या होता है? It ends at a tragic note where शेर हकीकत में आ जाता है और वो बेचारा चिल्लाता रहता है और कोई नहीं आता. क्यों नहीं आया? क्योंकि उनका इमोशनल अकाउंट जो था वो, to ensure, if you want to be a successful person, that whatever you say, you should do it. Whatever you commit to others, whether they are your classmates, whether they are your parents, whether they are your colleagues, whether they are people from your community, ensure that you complete their tasks. That is your fifth good habit. The sixth good habit of successful people is they synergize. They are integrated people. What is the meaning of synergizing? Synergizing means the person who is faithful, who believes that a piece of the cake cannot be better than the whole cake itself. Okay? I'm working for the society. I may be good in my own way, but I cannot become bigger than the society. I am working as a member of, say, DPS society. Now, the decisions that society makes, I need to carry on with those decisions by all means. Yes, when I meet my seniors, my directors, my chairman, once the decision is made, it's implemented, we need to stick to that. That is synergizing. Another good example of synergizing you will understand is, say, you belong to Delhi. And what do you feel about Delhi? Being a Delhiite. I belong to Singrauli. How do I feel about Singrauli? Say you belong to a particular place and you are traveling in the train and you hear people talking good about that place where you live, where you belong to. If it can make you feel good, then you have that synergizing impact. If someone is talking bad about the place you live in and you feel bad about it, you have that synergizing effect. And when someone feels bad for certain things and then thinks about how can I improve over this situation, you are a contributor to the society. You will help the society to grow. Last, seventh good habit of this means, I'll just narrate a small anecdote for this. It said that there's a story of an axeman who was very hungry for the past few days, who goes to a person to get a job. He reaches to a person who has a big area of forest, and he hires him out. Now, initially, when this axeman started working, the kind of output that he was giving, slowly, the owner of the forest realizes that in spite of putting in all the hard work, he never used to see him sitting idle, still he found that the output was reducing every week. And then he hires out a manager. The manager was a little smart. And he tells him that, see, this man was giving me a lot of output, but now his output is reducing day by day. And when the manager tries to find out, he also finds that he is doing everything correct. But ultimately, he finds that he was not sharpening his axe. So his output was reducing. So whichever field we are, whether we are doctors, whether we are lawyers, whether we are teachers, all of us should always try to enhance our knowledge, whichever field we are in, to stay ahead. As teachers, as principals, whatever circulars are coming from CBSE, whatever circulars are coming from the state board, educational board, if we will not update ourselves, we will not be able to deliver. Similarly, doctors, if they will not upgrade their skills, they'll not be able to provide the best to the patients. So these are the 7 good habits as given by Stephen Covey. We can talk about them in detail. Those of you, due to some technical problem, actually, I was not able to get your messages on my screen. I'm sorry for that. Those of you who I'm not able to get onto those remarks. I really apologize to all my friends, my parents, my students who were trying. Probably you might have asked me something. Team from Entab EdTalk had asked me to keep an eye on the remarks. Unfortunately, they didn't show up, so I apologize for that. And another thing that I would like to focus upon, with whatever little time is left, I would try to talk about the 3 modes under which we function. Those modes are mode of goodness, mode of passion. Example. I'll try to give example to understand these 3 modes in a better way. Like, we all go to temples. We go to temples, we go to gurdwaras, we go to mosques, we go to churches. If we are going to these places for Thanksgiving, if we are going to these places because we like the ambience, if we are going to these places because we just like to be there, then we are going in the mode of goodness. If we are going to these places with something in our minds to seek, we want good results, we want good business, we want success in our life, and we go and pray to these places. This is also not wrong. Then we can say that we are going in the mode of passion. But if we fail kar dena, ya mere partner ka nuksan kar dena, then it is wrong. You are in the mode of ignorance. And for the children, the example that I give is, suppose you are inside the classroom. There is a switchboard which you find that it is broken, and there's a screw coming out of it. And without anyone seeing you, you just screw it tight so that the switch doesn't fall off from its place. And you did it out of your own feeling that you wanted to save that particular thing. Then you are in mode of goodness. If you are doing it and at the same time you want to be appreciated by the monitor or by your class teacher or subject teacher, then you are in the mode of passion. But if you are doing it because you want to create, you saw this board coming out and you took out the switch from there, threw it away when no one was watching you, then you're in the mode of ignorance. Whatever you are doing in your life, it is always in these three modes. Try to check it, check it, and I think if you will do that, hope you are not in the mode of ignorance. When you are in the mode of passion, try to raise yourself, get into the mode of goodness, and you will become a good human being. So towards the end, I once again thank all of you for joining us here in this Ed Talk, and I thank Ed team also for this. Thank you, Animesh. Thank you, Nimesha. I couldn't see your remarks, Beta. What happened?